What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of your favorite podcast. This is episode 112 of the Prodigal Sons podcast. Things are a little bit different this week. We're really excited because nobody came in angry today. Nobody was throwing anything around. Nobody was angry at their kid and going, "Oh, nobody understands my life." Because we might be down a member. Elijah, we'll get into where he is later, but he is not with us this week. Instead, in his place, we have Anthony Lorenzo.
Hi, how you doing?
And we're gonna get into this story in a little bit. We're gonna find out. We had a little intro last week. Shawn kind of let us know what was going on.
That's right, he did.
But
there goes the bass.
We'll get into the whole. We'll get into the whole story later. Anyway, Shawn Conroy, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
We have Tom Rivera.
Rivera, hola, ¿cómo está?
Wait, so you say ¿cómo está?
Sí.
Not ¿cómo está?
¿Cómo estás?
Well, you just said it two different ways.
Hi, how are you?
Right, but you said one, España.
Españas? I didn't say that.
Hey,
España.
Jack,
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying to get all the Spaniards in there.
Okay, you're just trying to be all-inclusive.
Yeah, all-inclusive.
Because there's ¿cómo está? And ¿cómo está?
Yep.
Anyway.
I didn't know you knew.
I've dabbled. I am...
You got the accent down, too.
Yeah. I totally got that accent down. Anyway, I'm Dave. How you doing? We have producer Lisa.
Hey, man.
Hi, Lisa. Well, she's not going to say hi.
Yeah, waves don't translate over
She
to
never says
radio.
hi.
She held her hand up and she made a gesture. I'll just say that. So what's going on this week, guys?
Man. Woo! I guess I'm just going to go right for it, dude. For anybody who has not seen, he's going to hate this, but I'm going to do it because it was so good. Whoever has not seen Sunday's sermon, you got to go to the Royersford Church of the Nazarene Facebook and watch it because it was the first time that I felt out. Not only was I watching a powerful sermon, but I felt like I was at a comedy club as well. There was a lot of laughter because of the good content.
You keep saying that.
It went into a tearjerker at the end. It was such a powerful ending that I'm not even going to give it away. You're going to have to watch it. And the thing about it was that that's how I felt. And then after the service, a lot of people came up to me and told me they felt the exact same way. So great job, man. The Lord really used you on Sunday.
Well,
it was phenomenal.
There's a couple things I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying
He's
that.
making up new languages now.
Yeah, he's speaking in tongues over here.
You know this, and Shawn knows this. Anytime you preach, you just want to be used by God, and you want to not. My thing is now I don't want to be there. Like, I don't want to be there. I'll prepare what I want to, what I think needs to be prepared, and then I just don't want to even be in the room. Like, I'll be there. If God wants to use it, he'll use it. That being said, you keep saying that it was funny. There was no jokes in there. Everything was serious. I'm not sure why you thought it was funny.
So there's a couple jokes about me that you threw out there.
There was no jokes. Everything was serious.
He started off by saying that
he was just laughing at me the whole time.
It was good, dude.
All right,
you had us all laughing. It was great.
Shawn, what'd you think?
It was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Looked great for my house.
What would you say was the whole? How did you feel that the message impacted you personally in the way you see what's going forward in your life?
There was a lot of tearing going on for me on Sunday. A lot of tearing up, a lot of swelling.
Okay,
I was swollen with enthusiasm as to where.
But what was there any specific point of the sermon that you said this really impacted me personally?
No. Let's be honest. I had pink eye, and I did not see it yet.
I think you should have come and shared with everybody.
Yeah, just came and just did communion that day. Just handed it out to everyone personally. That would have been Then nobody would be here this week. So no, I didn't think that was something to share with the rest of the congregation. I was at urgent care during your sermon, so I do have to check it out.
Well, it looks like your pink eye has cleared up. I heard there was pictures, and they were pretty fantastic.
Yeah, they were. It was pretty bad. I saw the picture. It was bad.
Yeah, Tom, I was not a happy camper on Sunday morning when I woke up, and I normally didn't post stuff like that, but I was mad, and I just posted it on Snapchat, and yeah, it was gross. It was pretty nasty, and that was actually better. That was after I had warm compress on it and the swelling went down and there wasn't all the stuff coming out. So that was better when you saw it than what it was when I woke up. It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Tom, you ever had pink eye?
Never.
Anthony?
Nope.
I had it once when I was a teenager. It's not fun. It's actually quite painful. I remember
Very
that.
itchy. Very itchy.
There's a point where it's pretty painful. Speaking of eyes, though, I had a bit of a situation last night. I woke up a little bit confused this morning. In the middle of the night, I noticed that all my sheets had been stolen and my blanket had been stolen. It was a little chilly.
Oh wow, talk to me.
So I woke up, tried to get them back, got punched in the face.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've experienced that.
Have you experienced?
I have.
Is Claire a puncher?
Yeah, she's not. She's not. You know, sometimes she's like, "Baby, why didn't you wake me up?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay. I don't want to get beat up. Let's not get silly." Oh yeah. And it's funny because that's so crazy. I had the same experience last night, man. I woke up cold, and then she has them like tucked in her, so like I have to pull them from under her to get under there, and yeah, she's just not very nice. Not very nice.
I didn't have that problem. I had the blankets all tucked in, nice and nice. I was nice and toasty.
Yeah,
warm
is that what it was?
Yeah. At my house, anyway.
Yeah.
That's how it works at my house. I was plenty toasty warm. I had all the blankets, all the covers to myself.
Yeah.
I didn't have to worry about.
How did your pillow go missing? I had my pillow.
Yeah, that's
I don't understand that part of it.
Yeah,
I understand
that
the
one's
sheets.
confusing.
The sheets make sense when that happens, but the pillow?
Who said pillow?
You did. You just said you had your pillow and blankets missing.
Oh, I thought I said sheets and blanket. Play the tape back. What do we got?
What do you
It's possible. I misspeak sometimes. But yeah, I got totally punched in the face last night. Just like the Browns got punched in the face on Sunday. Anybody see that?
That was that was something.
The Jets and the Browns played three really tight quarters, and then the Jets started to give it to the Browns. But then at the last second, the Browns said, "You know what? We want to give this back to you. Here's a W."
We want to let Joe Flacco live his glory days.
Did you get to watch it? Like, do you have the NFL ticket?
I am
or something?
surprised
Hey, Shane, how are you?
I'm surprised that you don't already know the answer of whether or not I got to watch it live. Based on you live in Schwenksville, right? It's about 10 miles from my house. You didn't hear me screaming?
I did.
I was, dude.
I thought you were still preaching.
The Jets win. Here's how it works as a Jets fan. You guys have never rooted for such a terrible team as the Jets. The Eagles have had their moments. The Patriots have had their moments. We win one game. And then, next stop, Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl, but I've mapped out how we're going to make it.
Joe Flacco's the guy.
I think what's going to happen is we're going to get back our young stud rookie quarterback. He's going to win us about 10, 12 games. Okay.
Wow.
Then he's going to get hurt because he gets hurt. Joe Flacco is going to come back all fresh and ready to go. It's going to be cold weather, Flacco time. He's going to pull off the Jets uniform. There's going to be a Superman shirt there. Right into the playoffs. Okay, follow me. We're going to take out the Bills.
Yeah, because they had a bad game this week.
Yeah, the Bills are terrible. We're going to take out the Bills. Who else we got in our way? AFC.
Oh, man.
Who else is good? Nobody else is good.
AFC?
Yeah. We'll probably have to take out the
KC.
Dolphins. Probably have to take
Kansas
out.
City.
I don't know what the new wild card situation is. If 2 or 3 from the same. Anyway, yeah, Kansas City. That's not a problem. Their quarterback is terrible.
Yeah,
Their coach is definitely going to die of a coronary before we get there.
with 3 cheeseburgers in his mouth.
He loves cheeseburgers.
He does.
He just has a thing. He loves football and cheeseburgers, and not necessarily in that order.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. We're going to take out those guys. We're going to get there, and I just think Jets maybe put up 40 points Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to win
It's
it.
Flacco time.
Yeah. What do you think? Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay. Jets?
Bay Jets. Yeah.
Nah, Eagles, Jets. Did you watch the Eagles game on Monday night?
I think you did. I saw some really weird, blurry situation going on in your post where you're screaming about the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my mouse voice.
Well, what was that on purpose or was that just bad internet or something?
It was a filter.
Okay, because I didn't actually listen to it. It was just there. And
you thought my face looked squared like that?
I didn't know if it was just bad upload speed or something.
Yeah. No. It was a filter, and let me tell you,
I didn't listen to it.
dude.
It
It was all around a great game, defensively, offensively, special teams.
yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. It was
And,
good. I mean, I
we-
shut it off because I was bored. I was like, this isn't a game. So
Because we were that good.
yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, I said
crushed
that's what I told Lisa. It's like second quarter. I was like, these are both blowouts. I'm out of here. So
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was actually, and it's interesting. It's the first game. It's the first Eagles game that I've watched in its entirety since 2019.
What?
Yeah.
What do you,
Since 2019.
you're just, I mean, I want to say, what are you doing other than that? But it's probably like a good answer, like feeding homeless people or clothing, people or whatever.
It is good answer. See, the thing is that up to 2000, so the year 2019 was my sanctification year. But what happened was, dude, it used to consume me. Like it would literally, if the Eagles would lose, I wouldn't get over it till like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And the only reason I would get over it is because I start getting hyped about
For the next game. Yeah. Even if they're 0-5 or whatever, you're
my
still like, oh, we
family,
could turn this around.
I would say no to my family on anything they wanted to do.
That's rough.
And it's like, I got to leave. Like, it was just consuming me. So I don't
consuming.
ever want to go back to that again. But
No.
I did enjoy watching the game last night when I got home from basketball.
That was, I mean, I don't know if you saw it or, I don't want to bore anybody who's not a sports fan or whatever, but the Jets, it was minute 24, we're down by 13, no timeouts, and they won.
Yeah.
Like, they said that was the biggest comeback in the last, 40 years for any team. So I thought that was pretty
There was
pretty
actually a
special.
lot of good football this
There was some good-
weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of
I thought that game was done. I was watching the Patriots Steelers game, and I thought that game was over. And all of a sudden, I'm like, the Jets just won.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, did the whole
Did you
Browns
see-
team die?
There was
Like
a
they were
ni-
all struck by lightning at one time.
99.7, I think it was, % chance for the Browns to win, and then there was a 99.7% chance the Jets were going to win, like a minute and a half later.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So, what? How about them Eagles?
No, the Patriots got lucky.
Oh yeah, they totally did.
Yeah, I bet against them this week. I actually took the Steelers.
So okay, I'm willing to say that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles could bring us could get you guys to the Super Bowl.
Well, you jumping the bandwagon.
I think he
That's
put
all.
38.
You said us.
I said 38 points or whatever. I'm just saying us because the Jets are going to be in the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
So I think
Jets,
I think
Eagles.
I think Flacco could take him.
Green on green.
Yeah, I think Flacco could take him.
that'll be interesting. Yeah, green on green.
Yeah, I mean he's not collecting AARP yet or
Kelly green.
Yeah, Kelly, like a girl color.
Not just green, Kelly. Don't look at me like that.
All right, we've officially bored everybody.
Yeah, including our guests. We're sorry about that.
No worries.
Oh man.
So Elijah,
Yeah, I'm curious because he didn't call me or anything. Where is he?
I have it on good authority that Elijah is a big fan of George Herman Ruth, otherwise known as Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And Babe Ruth set the home run record at 60 home runs within a certain amount of time. We all know Roger Maris holds the real record at 61. Babe Ruth holds the record at 60 within a certain given time because that was before they extended the schedule. So I believe what happened is Elijah went to pay homage to Aaron Judge of the Yankees.
homage.
Destroying Babe Ruth's record. And he went up to Boston in advance to set up the parade or set up the party for Aaron Judge after he snaps the record this weekend. That's what I heard. Elijah was telling me he was going to Boston, but that's all I heard. Then I tuned him
That
out.
might not end up well for him. Boston's really not the town that you go against. You root for the opposition in.
Or, never mind. Boston's not really the town you do anything in if you're not going with the crowd.
Yeah, if you're not there for the Patriots or the Red Sox, you might not just want to go at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe Elijah won't be back.
Maybe
When does he come back? Friday?
Next week.
Next week.
Oh, I don't know. He'll be back for next week's show. I don't really listen. He talks. I mean, I'm sure he told me.
Yeah. He said a week, but a work week, a whole week.
All right.
It's hard to tell.
Enough sports. I got a question for Tom.
Here we go.
Starts with an article. A man borrowed $75,000 for leg lengthening surgery that made him 3 inches taller.
Shawn, I don't appreciate that.
I was coughing.
He will spend $1,200 a month on repayments for the next 5 years. John Lovedale, in his mid-40s, explained why he went through the painful months-long surgery. I noticed that taller people just seem to have it easier. The world seems to bend for them, he said.
That worked?
He decided to take the opportunity to become 3 inches taller when he heard about the procedure. Before doing so, he was 5'8", slightly less than the average height, and now he's 6 foot something. So he took a loan for $75,000. The question is it worth it? What would you pay to be 3 inches taller? What's it worth to you?
Today,
Yeah,
it's not.
it's not.
No. I got an amazing wife that doesn't mind being taller than me, so I'm cool.
No, but okay. So that was not a serious question because the funny thing is, and I've said
But I didn't know there was such a thing.
I've said this several times. I never considered that you were short until we started making fun of you, and now
The average
we just
height
can't
is
stop.
5'8".
Yes.
Apparently.
Oh wow!
So I heard
Way
about that.
shorter than that.
Are you allowed to get on rides at Dorney Park?
It's close, but I got it. I got it. I still stand next to the thing to make sure. Look at this. Comes up to like right here.
Sir, can you step over to Bucky Beaver here and see if you're tall enough?
Could you imagine though? I mean, this is like I'm serious and I'm joking around, whatever. But this, they break the femur. They add an extension.
Where do they get the extension from?
I don't
Is it
know.
like a
I'm guessing it's a
cadaver?
cadaver.
Cadaver
It's got to be a
femur?
cadaver. I mean, it could just be Legos.
Could be.
It could be Legos. It
Just hot glue.
could be a clay model. It depends where they're doing the surgery. If they're doing this at the Ramada Inn, it's probably Legos.
Behind the Ramada Inn.
If they're doing it behind the Ramada Inn, it's whatever's behind the Ramada Inn.
What
It's
exactly
like-
again do they stretch out?
So they don't really stretch anything. They break the leg bone.
Okay.
They put in like an insert to make it 3 inches longer. And then could you imagine
They stretch the skin.
pain.
Could you imagine the extreme pain of the skin and the muscles that have to
Trying to
stretch 3 inches
overnight.
Well, I mean, yeah. But I don't even know if you could you imagine waking up being 3 inches taller than when you went to sleep? I'd be stumbling over everything.
Oh, it'd be a mess. Yep. Well, it's like,
That would barely put me at the average height.
I feel like this guy's going to find out that it's not worth it.
No.
No, it's
No, I wouldn't.
Well, the average height, Tom, this year. Next year, you go get it again. They just break something else next year.
It's just, the Star Wars R2-D2 set comes out and they just give you another 3 inches.
But here's the picture.
crazy.
I can't throw it up on the screen
I'm,
for everybody to see. But I mean, that guy looks like it's awful.
Yeah.
And here's the other question: do they do them both at the same time? Imagine they do one and your
You
leg's
gotta come
3
back
inches
to that.
longer.
It's just like,
You just gotta. It's like they do the eye surgery. Sometimes they
There's-
do one and then you go back and do the other one.
There's got to be some bad
can't-
consequences
you
in the
can't
future.
come back
him.
for 6 weeks to get the other leg length.
I feel like a lot of times when we do these cosmetic surgeries that are kind of like spitting in God's face, saying, what you designed was okay, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit. It never quite works out.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'll write it down and tell you after the show.
I really need to know what this is. So the other day, we go to Main Street Cafe. This is a question for everybody. I'm leading to a question for everybody. We go to Main Street Cafe. There's a line. We're waiting for a table. Elijah Griffin happens to be there with, you're not going to believe this, Elijah Griffin.
When was this?
Saturday.
Okay, before he left. I'm like, what?
Yeah. You thought he lied, and he's actually here.
I don't know.
So Elijah and Elijah are waiting for a table. We're waiting for a table. He says, hey, you want to sit together? So we sit together. Little E orders the special of the day, which was apple pie stuffed French toast, deep fried, with powdered sugar and syrup.
It's too much.
It showed up. Wow, it's bad. It's bad when Tom Rivera says that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
That thing showed up, and I looked at him and I said, "Listen, if the doctor gave me 1 day to live, that's what I'd order.
That's what you'd order.
I mean, it might kill me before the doctor's prognosis killed me, or the diagnosis killed me, or I might just want to end it all after I ate it. But that's what I'd order. So
What's up, Doug?
my question for you is, what if you had 1 day? What's your meal?
Oh.
Or Shawn, to put it in your terms so that you can understand it, when you're on death row and they say you can have a last meal, what would it be?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever thought about that.
Rice
before.
and beans.
Rice. You're going rice and beans.
I'm going with my favorite Puerto Rican food. Yeah, absolutely.
If you could put the sweet and hot sauce, Mama's sweet hot sauce from Latin Corner on
Here's
there.
the thing with me, and
That's good
most
stuff.
people know that I am very plain when it comes to eating. I order the,
Tom, I cannot believe you did not mute your phone. That's awful.
you don't even you wow.
I'm just making sure mine is off now because you didn't mute yours.
Wow.
Wow, that's.
Are you even watching us?
No.
Wow.
Didn't share it.
He's the one that's always on us about that, and now he decided not only to mute it, but not even watch it or share it.
I'm an admin that's in my late 30s. Okay, I don't know how to change the admin settings on here to share it as myself, and I was too busy talking earlier, doing the intro, to do it on my computer. So keep talking. I'll do it right now. I'm going to do it right now.
All the sweets that are out there for me, like let's say pancake with syrup, French toast, and there's choices. There's choices for you to put like chocolate chips or make it chocolate. I don't get any of that stuff. Or even if like to put M&Ms in there, I don't get any of that stuff. I'm just basic, plain sweets.
Nice.
I don't like adding extra stuff or that other stuff. So
fruit in pancakes.
No.
You don't like blueberry pancakes?
I don't. Pancakes. Pancakes are just plain for me. I don't put anything in them. Now my wife. Yeah, she likes to dabble.
Throws the whole fridge in there.
Throws it all in there.
Blueberries.
It's like
and it's interesting because every time we go out to eat, she'll ask the server,
is gorgonzola cheese.
Is this good? Like they're gonna say, no, man, don't get that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Horrible.
You don't
that's garbage. I'm always telling like, Vivi, why do you ask that question?
It would be good though if they were like, nobody gets that. No, it's terrible.
Yeah, we've sold one in 1973, and it's never sold since. That guy died 3 days later.
But we still have it on the menu.
It's still on the menu, though.
Yeah.
In recognition of that guy.
But
if I only had 24 hours, I'm going lobster and shrimp.
Shrimp in the lobster?
Yeah, crabs, crabs, all kind of shellfish. I'm having.
Are you allergic?
Oh, anaphylactic allergic.
Oh,
so
you're like, whatever the diagnosis is, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
Listen, I love that stuff, and I used to eat it when I was a kid. I developed an allergy later in life to it. So,
that's right.
if I'm going out, I know I'm dying tomorrow. I'm enjoying.
What about you? What would you eat?
The meal that my mom and I had when I was younger, and we first went down to Atlantic City. That would be, for me, it would be a Reuben, extra Russian dressing on the side, extra coleslaw, a big order of the thick cut French fries, and as the dessert for that, babka, Russian, Ukrainian type of bread with apples and cinnamon running through it.
Russia and Ukraine did something together back in the day?
Yeah,
nice.
Enough,
that's nice.
The relatives, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It's like a relatives argument.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Quite a meal right there.
I do miss that every once in a while. It's like a good Cuban sandwich, which is very much like a Reuben. The good Cuban sandwich.
So I just feel that it's not a Prodigal Sons episode if we don't make fun of the guy on sabbatical, Peter Clark.
Which is why he's on sabbatical, because he won't stop making fun of him.
Yeah, but so I heard the funniest story today about him.
Oh,
right?
really? Dude,
yeah, and I will. Thank you. So my sister went to pick him up at the airport today.
Okay.
Right, and he doesn't have any luggage because Gary Bean drove to South Carolina. So Gary Bean took all the luggages in his car, so they don't have to put any luggage on the plane. Right. So Pete, his wife, and
did Gary treat the luggage like the airplane would have? Like he just got to Virginia and just threw it out on the side of the highway?
Well, treating objects in that way is the funny part of this story, right?
Okay.
So my sister is waiting for Pastor Pete, his wife, and Gemma, because I believe Rain came back with Gary in the car because he didn't want to fly. Okay. And all of a sudden, my sister sees Pastor Pete holding a belt that is part of a car seat. You know, the one that you hook up to the back of it? The back end?
Yeah.
He's holding it and just dragging the car seat on the street. Just dragging it behind him like this, just dragging it. Right? So his wife Leanne tells my sister, I am so embarrassed. Can we like move up a little bit so people don't know that he's with us? She tells my sister, he goes, since we got off the plane, he dragged the thing all through the airport, all the way to your car. He just dragged it behind him like a dog. And I'm talking to my mom. My mom told me this story. She goes, why didn't he just get a cart to push it? I'm like, I don't know, because I can picture him just trying this thing,
Did he have a miserable look on his face too, or
no?
No, he's just perfectly normal.
That
is the normal way you carry a car seat.
Yeah, he just drags it all.
They're made for impact.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he went down any steps? He just bang, bang, bang.
Oh,
bang.
absolutely.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to come down these steps.
I'm
I'm gonna
not
go back
using the
up.
escalator. I'm using the stairs that have been blocked off for
I
the
just
last 5
wish
years.
I wish that we had video of this
That would have been great.
because that would have been great. We could have definitely put that up on the first day he's back in church, up on the church news. And say, here's his sabbatical. This is what he's gonna. This is the guy coming back to us. Oh man,
Have you ever forgotten to pull something out of your bag before you went through the airport?
Dave, like what?
I used to. I travel a lot for work, and
You
I
drive a lot for work.
right, but I used to pre-COVID fly, rent a truck, pick up the equipment, bring it back. Now I don't do that.
Oh, interesting.
So I used to fly with a guy who worked for me. His name is Jim, and he's a big. His family collects a lot of guns and weapons of all kinds. And one time we were going through the airport metal detector, and I guess he'd forgotten to check what was already in the bag before he packed the bag. And there was no gun in it, but there was like a 12-inch blade, a K-bar, like a Marine K-bar. And it went through the metal detector, and they were like, "Sir,
Can you step to the side, please?
pretty much." So that got interesting real quick.
We're not talking about my beard again, are we?
No,
I left it on the list in case it popped up.
it has fluffed out.
I was
Yeah,
going to
it's
ask.
good.
I was going to ask the most interesting man alive if he had anything to say about it, but
Well, it's funny you say that. It's so funny. Did I tell you the story?
no.
So this is only the second time in my life that I grew a beard. The first time that I grew it, that's what they used to call me.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't even this gray. It was just a little bit gray here.
That's like white.
But yeah, it's all white right here. Yeah.
I mean, mine's pretty
Okay,
gray in the front, but
two things. One, doesn't that itch?
It's-
Anytime I grow a beard, by the time it gets that long, I'm ready to like shave it off.
Yeah, so it's past that. The weird thing about it now is that it's long enough
That
to
it-
feel wet hair on my face when I get out of the shower. And that's a
Yeah.
weird feeling. That's a weird feeling when you feel like wet hair on your face. You're like, what is going on? I feel like it feels like there's a rag on it or something.
The other thing that Anthony's like,
Yeah,
you know.
it's like I've had my beard.
By the
for-
way, Anthony? Has anybody ever said you look like Robin Williams?
No, they haven't.
Oh wow, he does.
Don't you see it now?
yeah, now
Yeah.
you say that. Yeah, I know. It was on my mind. Like, oh, he does look like somebody. but I
Yeah.
couldn't-
Me too. When I
Yeah.
came in, and I thought it
Yeah.
was one of my high school friends, but that's what it is.
It's Robin Williams. He's
Yeah.
got the eyes. He's
Yeah.
got the eyes and the
Yeah.
nose. Yeah, it's Robin Williams.
Are you funny?
Wow.
From Goodwill Hunting.
Yes, yeah,
Goodwill Hunting.
the very endearing eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been told by a few people that I don't have a sense of humor, so that
There you go.
kind of cancels that out.
Well, you know.
work on
We'll
it,
work on
but-
it. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. The thing that's throwing me off about Tom is he's got the white beard, but he also started doing this thing with the back of his head.
Okay, so I got a funny story about that.
So it looks like looks like
ledge.
he's 17 years old on the back of his head. See it?
Yeah.
So,
But he's also got the old man beard going on, which is
my
like
wife, I'm getting a haircut on Friday, and my wife has told me, has commanded me, that I must, when I get my haircut Friday, get rid of it.
Thank you so much, Claire.
She
I appreciate
hates it.
You are the best.
She
Claire.
hates it. She goes, listen, it's one thing that you're growing a beard, but now you're gonna be different from the front and the back. You got to get rid of that. She called it a rat tail. It's not really a rat tail.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know?
So I'm not going to say it was bothering me, but I have been making plans to visit other churches.
Yeah. So this Friday I will be getting rid of it, and she told me, she goes, you got to get rid of it. It looks awful. So I've had some people that like it, but
It's nice.
definitely a lot of people have come up to me and said they hate it.
Who can find a virtuous woman? Her worth is far beyond rubies. That's what I have to say about that. Good
Yeah.
job, Claire. Thank you.
So,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
she's
We all
definitely-
thank you.
And she has reminded me ever since that Friday's coming up. She goes, don't forget, you got to get that thing. She actually went like this to the back of my head. She goes, just have him shave it right off.
Okay.
So I might just come in with a crew cut next Tuesday.
Suggestion. Why, if we had known about this, I think we could have done it on air.
I would have let you do it on air today, and then I would have got it fixed on Friday. We can still do it if you have clippers. I'll allow you to cut my hair right here.
I don't carry clippers in my back pocket.
You
I'm
don't?
bald.
Yeah.
Bald people don't carry clippers around.
We
have-
just make it a mohawk.
yeah.
Anyways.
See, that worked though. When you had the faux hawk, that actually worked back there like that.
Yeah, but
Now
I
you're
don't
not
do the
doing
fro
that,
hawk
it
no
doesn't-
more.
it-
Yeah.
it's out of place.
Yeah.
Like, it
He had a
matched. It was
faux
like-
hawk?
Yeah, when you
Really?
first met me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, you remember that?
And the ice
No.
cream shop. I used to wear my hair like this.
Yeah, you still had the front, you like the shark fin thing going on.
I really don't remember that.
Oh, man.
Although I was pretty much just staring at the ice cream back then.
And eating crepes. The crepes were.
Crepes were amazing.
There was a reason I was 300-something pounds. Let's just
you
leave it
were
at
both
that.
drinking 16 cups of coffee over at Tom's Shop in a day.
You want to do a minute a game or
Yeah, we can do a couple.
one or two? Yeah.
Yeah, do a couple.
Yeah,
It's a
because
little-
we need to
little-
get in and
Little
learn.
Never have I ever.
Sure.
All right. Never have I ever shaved my body hair into a random shape for a laugh.
For a laugh? Shaved your body for a laugh?
Body hair. Mustache, beard, chest.
For a laugh?
Yeah, for a laugh.
Oh, actually, I have.
See? Knew it was coming.
Yeah. Well, because I think the first time I had the beard, when I finally shaved it, I shaved it in stages. All right. So I first shaved this off and had huge sideburns with a goatee.
Nice.
All right. And then I shaved the sideburns off, just had the goatee. And then I just shaved this bottom part, so I had the handlebars.
Yeah, that's one I always
And then I
finish on.
shaved this off, so I just have the mustache. And then I shaved it off. But this was all within, like, just to get a picture. Like,
Oh,
within the same
okay,
night.
okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it wasn't like,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it was
I-
it was
So
within
for a
the
laugh,
same night.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
wear
it's
it
like,
out.
for a laugh.
I wear it out. I do it in the sections, but then I usually leave it for a day or two.
yeah, no, I didn't wear it out.
That's what I do.
There was a time we were doing after we had started the Prodigal Sons, where I had a bit of a beard going on, and one night I was going to shave half of it off and do the show. That lasted about a minute, and I was like, no, I'm way too vain to actually do a whole show like that. I'll just be thinking about it the whole time.
Used
So,
to be doing this the
so
whole
yeah,
time.
I just shaved the rest of it off. So no, I guess I didn't, but I planned to. It just didn't work.
Thought about it.
What about you, Anthony?
No, I haven't shaved any of my hair in any funny shapes.
Are you willing to start now?
The answer to that would be have to be no.
Okay.
See, you are funny.
Yeah.
I've done it multiple times. Different. I'm not even. For a Halloween party in high school, I shaved my chest hair into the Superman symbol,
That's awful.
and just wore a pair of blue and green underwear to the party, and just the Superman symbol with the cape.
You got a picture?
No, nobody wants to see that.
No, I do.
I want to say for Valentine's one time, from the kid's mom, I think I shaved a heart into my chest here.
It's all his chest hair.
Yeah, it's always
It's-
chest.
it's-
Well, I do the mustache thing, like the beard and stuff, but
I'm starting
I
to
was trying to
understand.
think of funnier stuff.
I'm starting to understand the singleness.
Getting it now? It's
The funny
not my
thing is,
choice.
Yeah,
He
I
said-
get it now.
He said he did the Superman thing when he was 17. What he didn't say is he's maintained it since
Yeah,
then.
it still looks that way. It's still
He dyes it.
it's gold around the
Oh yeah,
red ass.
he's got the he tattooed the skin behind it too. Like
Yeah, so it looks good. Get it touched up every once in a while. Oh man.
all right,
Never have I ever belched the alphabet.
hard no.
Yeah, definitely no. I never even belched A.
Hard no on that as well.
Yeah, I did it this weekend.
Did you really?
Probably. You hear me before the show.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Have you?
No, I have not.
I don't think
Definitely
many.
not.
Yeah. Does anybody watching us have a yes to that one? Because I'd be
Yeah,
curious.
that's an interesting. All right, so
All right, hit us with one more.
all right. Never have I ever picked a wedgie in public.
All the time. I still do it. I do it on the show.
Excuse me.
That's what I do when I'm adjusting. My mic goes to this.
Yeah, I do it on the show. Yeah, I mean, if you got a wedgie, you got to pick it out.
I need to give one more because this one's actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, I
Can
don't
we
know
end
why-
on one that doesn't make me want to puke?
I don't know why Dave said
Oh, this
one.
is gonna make you want to puke. Trust me.
Yes.
Never have I ever rubbed somebody's toothbrush in something other than toothpaste.
Well, I know the answer for you already because you've told us this story before. So I know your answer, but my answer is definitely no.
I haven't. I'm not. I mean, I've had enemies and I've had enemies, but never those kind of enemies.
I didn't do it to my enemies.
Jeez. Do I? Can we? I mean, is it even? Is it
He
even
did-
airable
he
to
did
what it was in?
He did it during the men's retreat. I'm kidding.
No,
you
he
better
didn't.
not have.
I'm never brushing my
Trust
teeth
me,
again.
you would know if I did. I would have made sure it was an obvious. I wouldn't let you use the toothbrush if I rubbed it in dog poop or something.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe
the
that
toilet,
either.
maybe. I would let you do it if I rubbed it in the toilet. If I dunked it, not if I scrubbed the toilet, but if I dunked it one time, I might let you get away with it. But not dog poop.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
that's
not-
gross.
definitely-
I don't want that's not. I might do it to be funny, but I tell you like don't. Yeah, put that in poop. You know
What's
what
the save for, Tom? For my toothbrush, because Shawn's here.
Yeah, you bring a little personal lockbox.
lockbox.
Got to put your pillow in there because you know
Yeah.
might fart on it. You get pink eye.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Anthony?
No, I haven't haven't done that, and hopefully haven't had anybody do that to me. I'm
Right?
young.
That's the first place my brain went, was like, I've never done that, but has anybody ever done that to me? And the answer is probably yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. I can tell you that.
What
right now.
So why don't we ask our guests some questions that I think you have, just a few, and then I will transition into our what we like to call the serious part of the show.
All right. So what we do with new guests is usually we'll do some get to know you questions. I'll fire a
Okay.
couple at you, and we can get to know you a little bit. What really makes you angry?
People who are unkind, who are truly unkind to another person, not out of trying to improve them, not out of trying to maybe get them to pay attention. People that are truly unkind and horrible to each other, as a matter of trying to physically harm them, that annoys me.
And on the opposite spectrum of that, what makes you laugh the most? Mr. I have no sense of humor.
If I see some of the old comedians like Milton Berle and Buddy Hackett during his early stuff, and some of the early Johnny Carson stuff, and believe it or not, Steve Allen, those type of guys who knew how to construct a clean, decent joke and run it through, and that makes me laugh.
You can tell you've been a Christian for a long time, because in my past, all the comedians were the ones that were vulgar.
You're all on your own. I don't think anything with crudity or vulgarity is funny, Tom.
Yeah, me neither.
You should work on that. Anthony, what did you want to be when you were a kid? When you grew up?
It's changed. It changed a couple of times. I was interested in becoming an aerospace engineer a number of years ago, but realized I didn't have the math scores to get me there. So I started inadvertently doing research on conflict resolution, how people interact with each other and so forth, and that led to a number of other opportunities. And now I have before some things happened, I was able to acquire a 4th degree black belt in martial arts, and I was before things happened, I was a certified in 2 different styles of Tai Chi for health and wellness, and some other stuff. So I've always been about conflict resolution and trying to help people out.
Cool. Last question here, and it's a leading question because I think it might lead into some other discussion.
Okay.
Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car?
If I had to rank them, right now I'm riding a bike. I'm riding a tricycle, and that's not only for weight reduction. That's for me to get transport back and forth from location to location, unless I can ask for have somebody willing to give me a ride. A car would be second. I've been on the back of a horse once, and I know I need a lot more experience at something like that.
Yeah, because that's like being friends with Sean Conroy. It's a wild it's a wild animal, and it can hurt you. No, but I asked that question: would you rather ride a bike? Because that's how you guys met, right?
Yeah, we were 23. I was going to say 724. It was 23. Messing me up. I was working. I was at work. I was doing changing out a mailbox, and cars are trucks and stuff are just flying by. Like my feet are literally on the white line, and I'm freaking out. Like I'm going to get hit. This is going to not be good. This is going to stink. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, about 150 feet away, I see something coming at me, because I'm not turned that way, but I can see something moving towards me. And all of a sudden, I hear, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "What?" and he's on his tricycle.
Yeah.
He's just yelling down to me, and I'm like, there's like 18 wheelers whizzing by him. Like, I'm on the line. He's definitely over the line.
And he's just
And he's cool as a cucumber. Just no fear at all that these cars are gonna. And I'm freaking out. Like, oh my goodness, like this is not gonna end. And he stops. We start talking, and I was telling him on the way here, and I think I told Tom I had been struggling a lot with where I am and
Right.
what's going on. And it was one of those moments where I was just like, man, like I was having a bad day. It was about 8:30 in the morning. It was it was early. I was just having a terrible day already at 8:30, and we just started talking. And it was just one of those things that Andy starts telling me his story, and I got to pray with him, which was awesome. I haven't been able to do that with somebody in a while, so that was really good. And then we started talking about some of his. I'll let him talk about it, but some of the things he wants to do with his life.
Yeah.
What your dad had told you to do. I hope you talk
Yep.
about that. And I was like, well, that's right up. We have come on the podcast with me.
Yeah, it was
I'd
just-
love to have you on and have you talk. I think the guys would love to hear you. I think you have a good story. I think I'd love to help you get your goals out there and see what we can do to help you out. But it was just in the moment. I don't for him. We've talked, and he was thanking me the other day for hey, I have an opportunity to share his story, and I was telling him, hey, thank you for helping me realize where I'm at and where I need to be, and helping me realize, because anybody else would have just right by and not even thought of it, but not Anthony. He just decided, hey, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna say hi, and I'm gonna try and make this guy, like he said earlier, just trying to make somebody's day better, and it was, and it really helped. So I thank you for that. But
that's awesome. That's how you guys met, and Shawn showed up that night, and he's like, I have. Well, it wasn't that night, but he
I
showed up.
texted you guys like.
Yeah, you texted right away.
I finished what I was
Yeah.
doing. I went down to the van. So about 5 minutes after you left, I didn't tell you this part. I go to the van. I'm like, guys, I just had this crazy, amazing God moment. And they were like, what? I said, I'm going to tell you all about it on Tuesday, because it was Monday.
Yeah.
And I came in
And then he's like, Tuesday, he's like, we got to have a guest in here next
Yeah.
week. So that being said, Tom, why don't you do the verse of the day, and we'll get right into it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cool, because that whole story when he came in brought me to Ecclesiastes 11:15. Just as you cannot understand the path of the wind or the mystery of a tiny baby growing in its mother's womb, so you cannot understand the activity of God, who does all things. And it made me think of the story that he told us, how he met you, because Shawn, like he said, he's been in a just in an unknown season. I don't really like even calling it struggling. It's just looking for clarity. And as I look at my past and my story, and I think of certain situations that happened to me, during those situations I was completely lost. I didn't understand anything. But that's how God works, and that's how He gets into it, is through the situations that you don't know that are happening, but then God at the end brings them all together. And I got to be honest, when He told us you were going to be on, we were excited. You are the first guest that we really don't know,
Okay.
but you have an amazing story, and we're excited to hear it, brother. So
Okay. Well, we would say the easiest place to start this story is back how I got to a point of being on the tricycle. Well, 8.5 years ago, I was struck by a motor vehicle at 45 miles an hour as a pedestrian. Last thing I remember is hitting a button to cross an intersection. The next thing I know is 6 hours later, waking up in the back of an ICU with about 20 people looking at me going, ooh, ah, and realizing that I'm in a trauma center and bad things are about to happen. I lost a year of my life because of a traumatic brain injury. Getting hit by a car at 45 miles an hour is no fun. Well, what happened is I've started making efforts towards my recovery from day one, believe it or not, because of just all the martial arts training I've had and that sort of stuff. And slowly but surely, with the help of a lot of other people, I've slowly climbed my way out of that hole to where I am now, where I'm able to drive a tricycle and pedal. I pedal at least 1,000 meters a day, and then once to twice a week I go on a longer journey, about a 10-mile journey of combination walking, hiking, and gliding down the hills when I can, because I'm not the thinnest of guy, so force equals mass times acceleration. When I go down a hill, I have to keep my hands on the brakes because I am a fat man. So it's just one of those things. And I was heading to trying to head to a Tai Chi class to get something started up with that. And there's a church that might be interested. I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but they might be interested in having me come in and start a teaching class. That gets into what I want to do. I want to begin to start using the abilities that I have, that God has blessed me with, and the opportunities to help people again, because that's what I did before the accident. I used to teach at senior centers, various senior centers, gyms and stuff, and make a living helping people out in a way that was beneficial. But I know that Shawn wants me to get into the telling the story that I told you about during when we met, and that was okay. Now this is one of those goosebump moment stories that happened. Okay, my mom taught me very well about the way the world works. She taught me about Christianity when I was 6 years old, and how to think and how to act and the basics of life and how to help people up and be kind. My dad had a different teaching style. The day that he passed, 3 to 3:30 in the afternoon that day, we're talking over the phone, 8 o'clock, he was gone. Okay? I'm telling him about heaters for his little area, this little shed that he stayed in when he was outside and stuff. I told him about little heaters and stuff, and he goes, Anthony, I got an idea for you. I want you to think about this. You ever think about setting up a YouTube channel? I'm like, Dad, I have a brain injury. I'm working on the recovery part of the process. He's like, no. Just hear me out. You ever think about starting up a YouTube channel, maybe helping people out and getting your message out and all the stuff that you've learned in the past out there, and somehow maybe influence people's lives and help people out? Well, both my parents were Christians, and the idea that struck me. Even that day, it struck me. I hung up the phone with him, and then a few hours later, I get a panic call from my brothers about my dad being in the hospital, and then 5 minutes later, I get a panic phone call. He's gone. And it's like, wow. So I've been holding that message in my head, and every so often, whenever something decent happens, or something happens, I get one little piece of equipment or two little pieces of equipment, and I have a little laptop at home. It's cheapo laptop, Walmart laptop, and I've been trying to write up scripts and stuff and document my own life and put that information down and refine it. Now I'm to the point where it's like other equipment's going to be needed and stuff, and different things are going to be needed, but the one thing that I always was thinking about was opportunity. Have you guys ever heard of a guy called Ray Dalio?
No.
He was I used to listen to the self-improvement stuff. My dad would listen to it and tapes and stuff, all kinds of stuff. Well, this guy, Ray Dalio, says a human being to be successful in this world needs three things. They need the skills. I have the skills. I've lived a long life. I got a master's degree, bachelor's degree, and a bunch. I got so many letters after my name, like you could say E-I-E-I-O at the end of it. I mean, literally. But I don't brag because there's no point in it, and the credit goes to God. But the idea is this. You need skills. I got those. I'm trying to warm up, rebuild the brain. You need infrastructure. You need the equipment. Like, I got a tricycle. Eventually, I might be able to get a car, depending on how things are. Other stuff and the equipment to get my message out. But there's another kind of infrastructure you need. People. And I'm working on rebuilding that network too. And with you guys and with some other people. And I have a brain fart occasionally, and I apologize about that. But the last thing you need is opportunity. And the one being that provides us with that is what you said, God. God provides us with the opportunity. I didn't know Shawn before all this.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know you guys before
Isn't
all
that
this.
crazy?
I'm here. I'm telling my story and able to show what has been done so far. Because I should be dead by odds. I should, if you just laid out the math for this situation, I should be dead. But I'm not. What I'm looking to do is get the opportunity so I can get back out there, get my mom. I made a promise to my mom. I wanted to get my 5th degree black belt. That's before she passed. I made a promise to my dad about setting things up with a YouTube channel.
That'd be great, by the way. You'd be great on a YouTube channel.
But I want to help people.
That's what I'm saying. You'd be
That's the
great at
thing.
it. That's the whole point.
You know, and sometimes I ramble and I yammer, and my mom would always I'll wrap this little part of it up in one thing. My mom would always have a what she said to me when I was a kid. Anthony, could I just have 5 minutes of peace and quiet? I'm like, what, Mom? 300 seconds? She's like, stop being a smart aleck. Stop being a smart aleck. I love you, but stop being a smart aleck. And I get all kinds of stories that I could tell. We could be here for hours, but I know you guys package this in a particular way. And I want to fit in. I want to try to do the right thing. And I've been trying to figure out ways at the church that I go to figure out how to get more people there. And I'll come up with a pastor. I'll come up with different ideas. And if they shoot him down, not a problem. I'm like Space Invaders. I keep on coming up with ideas.
What church do you go to?
Bible Fellowship Church. It's at Crossroads. It's at 23 and 345, and that's where I go to church.
I grew up in the Greater Bible Fellowship Church, and my dad did a lot of ministry at the Royersford Bible Fellowship Church. So that's cool.
And you guys are gonna love this. My dad was a Roman Catholic. My mom was Church of the Nazarene.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I grew up with, when I was a kid, with everybody's stuff put together. And there was this one story where my one great uncle asked me, what's the difference between art and pornography? And he asked me this when I'm 10 years old. Okay, one of the first times I was welcomed to an adult coffee table, no kids table sort of stuff, where I would sit down and not watch TV. I'd actually interact with people with the discussions. I told him, I looked at him, and he looks at my mom and goes, "Is this kid for real?" I say, "Did I get it right?" He's like, "Yeah, you got it right." I'm in shock you got it right. Because what my mom used to tell me, when in doubt, look it up. So what she meant was the dictionary that we had. We had one of these foot-thick dictionaries, doorstops. But we also had our own personal Bibles. So that's also what she meant. Look it up.
Right.
You have a question about God? Look it up in his text and
Wow. Yeah.
figure it out. So that's, I'm glad I could help you guys out, and I'm glad I could help. I've been praying for my church, and I've been praying for the people in it, and trying to help out as best I can. I make a wicked cup of coffee, so to speak.
Yeah. You're welcome here anytime.
I'm the guy who one of the jobs I used to have before the head injury and stuff was I worked at Wawa for 3 years, the whole store. But what I did is one time they would put me on the coffee thing, and I would always make sure the coffee was fresh, clean, hot, and all the equipment was ready to go. So I know coffee is it's rote, it's memory. It's
Yeah.
like just how to do it their way. So that's why the way I do it for the church, I do it the Wawa way. So yeah,
Well, Anthony, I got a question for you. You said 8 years ago you had an act.
about 8.5 years
Eight and
ago.
a half. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer this, but if you don't
Go
mind me asking, how old were you when that happened? Because I can't tell if you're 35 or 55 or 65. You know, it's like
Yeah, I was in my 40s at that time,
Okay.
and let's just put it this way: I am an old fart.
But-
I'm older than a carrot, and I'm younger than a set of mountains. For me, I'm just the right age.
so. This is the way that you said it a few minutes ago, but it's like God has a plan that isn't our plan. You know, and basically, some of the best things that have ever happened to me were not planned. Was not part of my plan. And you're like, well, if you could sit there and write it down, even the story of our church and the story of this podcast and everything, it wouldn't make sense if you started from A and tried to get to, Z. You couldn't get there, but God has a way of connecting all those things. You had a traumatic brain injury brought on by simply acting out a daily function of crossing the street. What do you think, having looked back for 8 years, what do you think God was using you for or teaching you through all of it? I mean, you must know that there's a plan for it. What do you think it is, or what has he revealed to you?
For what I understand in this moment, is that things could be better, things could be worse. Our job is to keep on plugging away. It was a bit of a reminder because before the accident, I was going through some other stuff, which I won't go into here now because we don't have the time to go into it in that order. But I was going through some stuff some truly nasty situations that were being visited upon me by some nice people and by some horrible people. But I was in the process of getting through that. Sometimes this world is messed up, and sometimes bad stuff gets thrown in your way. God's always on the walk with you.
Yeah.
He's right next to you. It's like, okay, the world is a bad place. Not the way I originally intended it, but the world's a bad place. Your job is to be nice to each other. And where I'm getting that from is two things my mom taught me. My mom taught me the idea of Matthew 22. I'm not a chapter and verse sort of guy, so I'm getting as
Sure.
close as I can
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it. But the idea, honor God and love each other. As my mom used to say, honor God, love each other, how hard? And
Yeah, right.
She'd walk away from me when I was a kid, it's like,
That's pretty much
Okay,
that's
Mom.
pretty much the Bible condensed to two phrases: honor
Yeah.
God, love each other.
And then the other one was, I always mess up Paul's letters, but it's the love chapter, 13:13.
First
It's-
Corinthians.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, and that was her favorite thing, and I still have a note in my house from her writing down that whole idea of faith, hope, and love right next to each other, and it's like, yeah, Mom, you've been gone for almost 10 years now, and you're still teaching me
Wow.
about
Isn't
God.
that something?
And it's like my mom and dad, that's the way they did. That's the way they did. They did it through living.
Yeah.
So
I think it's so cool. I literally have a million questions that I want to ask you, but I know that we are time sensitive.
I know.
But I do. It's great having you on. But I have to give a big, huge compliment to your mother, because out of everything you said, the things that have impacted me are, number one, look it up. Right? Look it up. I remember our pastor the one time gave a verse, and he made it up. It wasn't even a verse in the Bible, right? And the sermon was about, people can tell you things, but it's up to you to look it up and do the research yourself so you know the Bible, right? And then the other two beautiful things is that she taught you the two greatest commandments ever. Love God with all your heart and love everyone else as you love yourself. Love thy neighbor. Those are, like he said, it's the whole Bible. But then she took it a step further. She said, okay, love God, love people, but let me introduce you to 1 Corinthians so you can know what love is, so you can love them people the right way. And that, I mean, as a parent, that's the lesson you want to give your kids. And that, I'm glad you shared that with us.
And my dad, who would teach in a different way, was going out making money for the family, trying to keep things. He was an entrepreneur for years, and I grew up with that whole business starting idea. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, sort of world through him. Now, he kept it more in here. But I knew he was a man of faith, and I knew he found Jesus because of talks. You know, people leave breadcrumbs along their path. It's like, yeah, here it is. And so I was getting it from both sides of them in their own way, because they were able to treat me and my brothers like individuals. They didn't treat like and those of you who have kids on this, I don't know all your backgrounds.
Yeah, we all
so
do.
to speak.
Yeah, we all have kids. Yeah.
But the idea is like, okay, you treat them as individuals. Why? Because they're individuals. It's like, so that's what I want to do. I want to try. I haven't figured out God's plan as best I can. I've hobbled along, so to speak. But the idea is that I just want to help people as best I can.
Well, the cool thing is, the follow-up to my question, it was more of a statement, but it's apparent that that's what you're doing. And the reason I asked how, what God's plan was, because clearly, you inspired brother Shawn when he was at work and, thinking about, there was a lot of stuff on his mind. Just by riding by on a mode of transportation that you're stuck to because of all the bad stuff that happened to you, but you're trying to rebuild your life, move on, overcome, but at the same time, you haven't lost your joy.
God used you to talk to Shawn.
Yeah. And however many other people that you do the same thing to every day, just by talking to them, waving at them, saying, hey, how you doing?
Yep.
Rather than saying, God has forsaken me, I'm just going to sit in my own place and be miserable. And, I went through this horrible. And that's what most of the world does. You're showing how God is still inspiring even in that moment, which is pretty awesome. I'm glad to have met you, and I'm just so grateful that you came today just to share that with us.
I do have one quick question. So in part of your testimony, you said that walking, hiking, and gliding, right?
Yeah.
So when you do the walking and hiking, you have to park the tricycle and you walk with it?
Here's what happens. I've a number of students.
And when you say sorry, I need to know this. When you
An
say
adult
tricycle, it's
tricycle.
one of those big ones with like a
Yes.
basket on the back.
Yes.
Type. That's pretty cool. All
a
right.
Schwinn Meridian.
It's like a Schwinn pickup truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, what happened is once a week I would go into Morgantown, and I found out I was trying to get a Tai Chi class started to maybe see if I could teach again, and as the next step in the process. Well, that didn't work out for where I was teaching, but I found out that a group of students that I taught at a local church up there, not the BFC church, but a church in Morgantown, has been doing what I taught them for 8 years. 8.5 years since the accident, since I couldn't go teach. They've been doing it on their own with the written instructions that I gave them. And I want to eventually, hopefully, if I could, start something there where I could teach people health and wellness for their own movement skills, and maybe martial arts, and maybe get back to teaching college classes again. But we'll see what happens. I don't know, because I don't know how, because the doctors have told me, oh yeah, you're disabled, you're done. And I'm like, really? So I'm trying to figure out the process. I'm trying to get my brain back to where I can see if I can do this and what I can do and what I cannot do. So I figured since they're not going to give me the answers, I got to go out and find them. I got to look it up on my own, and with God's help and with some people's help, I'll see what I can do.
All right. So what's the gliding?
Gliding is basically when, if you go from Elverson to Morgantown, there's a couple of really, really big hills.
Okay. So that's
I have to basically let off the brakes a little bit and chirp the brakes as I'm going down the hill, so I don't build up too much speed.
Yeah.
I have to hit the brakes every couple of times so I don't end up racking up somewhere.
Okay.
And so that's gliding down the hill.
gotcha.
I should have used the word coasted. The area of my brain that was damaged was the language, part of the language centers. So sometimes I don't have all the words available. I've been working on that.
Well, you're doing pretty good.
I'm trying.
I mean, your vocabulary is like 4 times what Tom's is.
Yeah,
so
I was
you're
just
fine.
thinking. I'm like, I didn't even have anything happen to me, and that part does not even exist in my brain.
I used to teach for a living. I used to teach up at Penn State Berks history, modern East Asian history, 1700 to present, and I used to teach at RAC. I used to teach personal defense and Tai Chi for health and wellness.
That's crazy because Tom actually used to teach at preschool, had a color within the
Oh.
lines, but he got fired because he couldn't stay within the lines.
Yeah,
So
they found out that the students were teaching me how to do it,
Yeah.
and they had an issue with that.
but anyways,
I don't want to seem like I'm a blowhard. I apologize if I seem like I'm a blowhard or anything.
no. I tell you what, I can absolutely see why Shawn wanted you here. It's been awesome to have you here.
You taught us a lot. I appreciate
really
you.
have.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it was nice because Shawn and I interacted for about 10 minutes, and here's why I stopped. I stopped because they saw the look of frustration on his face, and the lesson that my mom had taught me and my dad had taught me is somebody's looking frustrated and all knotted up inside. You look at them and go, "Hi, how you doing?" You give a smile. You encourage them a little bit. You make it so they can feel better about their day. Because who needs people going around going rumpa, 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 rumpa all day long? And it's like the world's already a messed up place. We need to have a little bit more kindness.
All right, stop convicting me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, and he's not
No,
lying. It
it's-
changed my whole day. It changed my whole last week or so. So
that's freaking
Thank you.
awesome.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. We might have to have you back. And besides, do the YouTube channel, man. I'll subscribe. I'm probably not your first. You probably have other people who are in line to subscribe, but I will definitely subscribe.
Yeah.
There's equipment there's certain physical equipment that I actually need. I tried doing it a number of years ago. About a year ago, I got one of those little cheap Vivitar cameras from Walmart, and it didn't work. The door broke, and the other thing broke, so I had to take it back. So that didn't work out. So I got a couple of things in my head of equipment-wise, which I would need to make that happen. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm writing down my stories. I'm writing down all my educational programs on a laptop. So I'm busy, paperback writer, like from the Beatles song, typing stuff up. And hopefully, that's part of what's been helping me.
Cool.
And, hope I haven't talked too much.
No,
No,
that's
you're good.
awesome.
And actually,
Thank you.
there was one more thing that we talked about on the road there that day that I wanted
Go ahead.
to talk about. You had said that you wrote a book based
Yeah.
on the life lessons that your mom taught. You said it was
Yep.
72 pages?
It was 50. It's 51 pages.
51 pages.
39 writing, so I made it short. And I did handmade drawings for each one of them. I have a PDF that's in my computer, but I don't have the resources to go send it to the publisher, send it to the self-publisher, and go, hey, could you print this? Could you put the copyright number on it and all the other stuff so people don't steal my mom's lessons and stuff? Because I want to make sure that my mom's stuff gets protected. And world's a dangerous place, so it's just one of those things.
That doesn't shock me at all because of what I said, man. Your mom just
That's
cool.
why I brought it up, because I
Yeah.
was like, when he told
Because
me
those
that, when we
lessons
were
that
talking,
she's giving you, that's cool.
And before that, I wrote a book on the martial arts. It was supposed to be a martial arts textbook for the college, but that never. I'm not able to get that reprinted. But I want to help people. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't mean to seem like a goofball, but I want to help people.
No,
That's
the
my thing.
I think it would take off because there's too much stuff on YouTube of people ripping each other apart.
Yeah.
You know, we need more Anthony Lorenzos on YouTube. I'm interested. I'm subscribing to that.
Yep. Can't wait to see it happen.
Cool.
For sure. Oh, nice. Tom's responding to see movement in the future there. But yeah, Anthony, seriously, like I said, you changed my life last week. A week and a half ago.
You stay in contact with me. I'm serious about
absolutely.
that. And you guys, you stay in contact with me too. It's like if it's simple matter about being encouraged, I have no problem. I'm like jet fuel. It's like, I'm
Anthony
like
Jet
when
Fuel
it-
Lorenzo.
Yeah, I'm like jet fuel when it comes to this stuff. It's like my mom taught me a lesson. It's like, my mom said something, it'd be like, yes, ma'am.
Nice.
And it's off to the races.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to get you on again, for sure.
Cool.
For sure. So, you guys have any more questions?
No, I'm just waiting.
No,
All right.
Good to go.
All right, I'll go ahead and pray us out. And, again, thank you, Anthony, for coming. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you
Love hearing your story.
thank you for giving me the opportunity to come. This has been the first time I've had any sort of talking with people like in this type of environment for a long while. I talk at the church. Don't get me wrong. Talking at the church and the fellowship meals and stuff is great. I value every one of the people there. But being able to talk to somebody and know that it's going out to someplace and maybe helping
Absolutely,
somebody that doesn't
yeah.
know,
Yep. Yeah, it definitely will.
Cool.
All right. Father God, thank you for the opportunity to let us come together again and do exactly what you've called us to do. Thank you for putting Anthony on my path that day, Lord, because like I said, you knew I needed it, and it's been an amazing experience since. So this week we want to pray for some sanity and guidance for all of us. We're all kind of going through, we're all kind of experiencing different things from different angles. So Lord, just give us some clarity as to where you want us to be to do exactly what you want us to do. It seems like some of that's coming through a little bit for me especially, so I appreciate that. But everybody here, just give them that same kind of guidance, Lord. For Elaine and James, Lord, you know what they're going through. You know their situation, Lord. Just be with them, guide them. Any help that they get from outside help, put the right ideas and the right thought process in the place, Lord, and help them get through what they're going through. For Anthony's family, Lord, help them move forward, keep them healthy, keep them safe, and provide for them as you know they need, Lord. For Anthony's goals, Lord, I just feel like you have an amazing plan here for Anthony, and I just love to see. I want to pray with him. Where two or more are gathered, you're there. So I want to be with him, pray with him, pray beside him, that the goals that he has set, he crushes them and moves forward. That you do amazing things, even beyond what any of us can dream of right now. That you would just continue to bless him and keep him going and do in the direction that he wants to go. Because I really think he's going to help a lot of people. I think you've prepared him to do exactly what you need him to do, and that is to help people in their lives. For Crossroads, for his church, for growth, for leadership, for sanity, for peace, for joy. It's not easy getting a church started, Lord, and I know they started not too long ago, a couple years ago, and they're really starting to try and catch some fire, Lord, and they want to be on fire for you. So if you could help provide the bodies and the people that need to come into leadership to help keep that going, Lord, and to help Anthony continue to make the amazing coffee that he makes there, Lord. Keep him going. For Eric and Kim Andrew and their family and all they're going through, Lord, you know what it is. We know you're with them. Continue to help guide them and their kids and through this time. It's not easy, Lord. So bring health, bring healing, bring peace and joy to that situation, Lord. For Sister Lizette, that her health will continue to improve, whatever she's going through. Help guide her, help the doctors get everything diagnosed out right, get if there's medication, whatever it is, Lord, just make that work to the best of your ability. For Jackie, Lord, be with Sister Jackie. We know she loves you. We know she's a true servant's heart for you, Lord, and she's kind of going through it right now. The world's a crazy place, and a lot of folks are getting into the thick of it, and I think Jackie's there right now, Lord. So just sit with her, put your hands upon her, let her know that you're there, and help bring some peace and joy to her situation, Lord. And for Puerto Rico, that's been going through these storm after storm after storm right now, getting bombarded, having trouble with electric, having trouble with water. I know people personally are going through it down there right now, Lord. So just be with those people, get the power going, get the water running, make sure there's food and stuff that people can survive. It's not a fun situation. They were just beat up a couple years ago, and now they're going right back through it again, Lord. Be with Brother Shane as his future plans. You know what they are, Lord. You know where you want him to serve. You know where you want him to be. So help give him some clarity and sanity through his situation, and guide him for his future. Lord, this world is a crazy, messed up place. It was never your plan. It was never your intention for it to be like that, but that's what we did to it. And so, Lord, I want to ask that just send some clarity and guidance across the world. Like right now, people are just scattered in multiple different directions, and there's information for this and information for that. And none of it seems to make sense, and there's a lot of things that are crazy and a lot of things. Just bring people back to center. Let them focus on you, and let you figure out what else has to happen beyond that. But let's get people back to the point that they love you and they love other people, because that's the simplest thing. That's the easiest way to get this world back on track. Love and respect you. Love and respect other people. You don't have to like everybody, but treat them with love, treat them with respect. And Lord, you deserve all the praise, because you keep this rock floating every day. You keep food on tables. You keep families together. You heal the sick. I just read a story the other day of a pastor went to a non-saved family to give last rites to somebody who was unsaved, and they came around. And now the family wants to come to church because the mother was saved, because somebody followed where you were leading, Lord. So let more people follow where you're leading, Lord. Keep guiding, keep opening up opportunities, and keep letting people know where you want them to be, because if we follow what you're asking, Lord, there is nothing that we can't do. So, Lord, keep guiding. We love you. We pray in the precious name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. Guys, if we made you laugh, if we made you think, if you learned something new, Shane, you just learned that I have 3 kids, I have 2 grandkids. Please share this. And when we say share, it's not for a matter of us to get more followers, to get more attention. It's for us to be able to spread the gospel of Jesus to more people that will generally know about us. And that's the reason we ask you to share. We're also on all pretty much social media. We're on podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcast. What's the one that you always do?
Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict. There
Apple
it is.
Podcast.
Apple Podcasts. We're all on those platforms. Check us out. Guys, thank you. Thank you for being here with us. We truly learned a lot from you today. And we love you guys. God bless.
And please enjoy this music from Tracks on Tracks Productions.
Love you all. See you next week.
See you guys.